And now it's time for Rugby League.
This week, me and Paul's been messaging back and forth, and we've seen a few murmurs of it online. So we were basically going to put it together, talk about it, how it would work. And yeah, we've put a Yorkshire team together and a Lancashire team together of current players. So let's get straight into it, Paul. Do you think there'd be an appetite for the War of the Roses to return?
There would be from me. I mean, I think the difficulty in our competition, Dan, is that the players already play too many games. And we had the exiles against England in a mid-season international, where the players got together and that was an extra game. And you find so many players that get either dropped or pull out themselves because of probably pressure from the clubs that they're under.
Yeah.
If they're playing with little niggling injuries, which the majority of players are, then they'll be pulled out by the clubs and themselves because they get the wages paid by them. So whilst there's probably an appetite for it from everybody outside of playing and clubs that are affiliated with clubs in positions of coaching staff, if you like, or CEOs and those that pay wages, then I think it'd be difficult to bring it back. But listen, the games that they started with when I was playing, the players that played in them was outstanding players.
Yeah, they were. I mean, without going too political about fixtures, we have a lot of loop fixtures. I mean, again, we've got the Hull derby this week. We've got Wigan and Saints again. I mean, it'll be the third time, is it? I think that we've all met each other.
Yep.
Do we really need 3, loop fixtures per season, or is there a chance that we could take out a loop fixture, integrate something that's like this, some sort of concept that's like this maybe in the middle of the season? That's going to be further on into the debate on when you would actually stage the event.
There is that, Dan, as well. Where you take out them. We desperately want to take out loop fixtures in our competition anyway,
because it kind of takes the specialty out of it, doesn't it? Because if you've got that, if you're like yourself, you're a Hull person or a Hull FC fan, Hull KR fan, you're looking on the calendar, when is that game? I want to go to that game. But if you've got 3, maybe 4 opportunities to go, it doesn't really mean don't get me wrong, it's always going to mean a lot, a massive derby, but I'm trying to say it takes the shine off it if you've got 4 opportunities to play that same derby. I don't think we should be doing that. We should be 2 home and away, and that's it, unless you meet in the cup or you meet in playoffs. It should just be home and away. And I don't think, excuse me, I don't think you need 27 rounds for a 14-team competition. I don't think you need that 27, especially when you're introducing things like Vegas, you're introducing Dublin. There's a lot going on in there. That would be my verdict on it. And I think if the loop fixtures weren't in, there would definitely be space on the calendar for a War of the Roses State of Origin type competition, and I think there would be a lot of fans that would back it as well.
I don't disagree, Dan. I don't disagree with everything you've said on it, man. Putting the teams together was fun as well, I'm sure. Lots of people it will divide opinion with.
Of course.
As always, whenever you pick a team, you might miss one or you might miss 2, or somebody's club feels that their player's playing better than someone else you put in your position. So
there's a disclaimer.
We're open to a bit here.
There's definitely a disclaimer. I have to say, when you see the teams, it's just a concept. It's an idea. We don't manage Lancashire and Yorkshire. We've not picked these teams. We've just done it as to show the people that are eligible and how it could look. We're open for chops and changes. You put your things in the comments. You put your ideas in the comments. Who we've missed, who should be playing, who shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
On the next point to that, because I know in the past, Was it a one-off game in the past when you were playing?
I think I didn't play in it. I never got picked in it. So,
or when you you were
yeah,
playing
yeah.
the Super League?
I think it was just one game, wasn't it? There was one at Odsal. I remember Steve Prescott, obviously, God bless him, was fullback for Lancashire, and I think Leon Price stand off for Yorkshire.
Yeah,
and,
he was.
Yeah, so some brilliant players that play in Lancashire that are eligible for Yorkshire and vice versa. So it's an interesting concept.
So you're the RFL then. You're the Super League governing body. You, Paul Cook. Would you start off, if you've got the budget there, you've got the space on the calendar? Would you start off with a one game to begin with, or would you want a 3
I think
game
so.
series?
I think you've got to, Dan, because if you throw 3 in there, then you're adding 3 games to the schedule. Even if you take out 3 low fixtures, then there's still going to be the elite players that are playing as many games when you're trying to avoid as many games. So, I think you start with a one-off, one in Lancashire one year, one in Yorkshire the following year, and see where it gets to.
Where would your choice of venue be for Yorkshire and for Lancashire?
I always love playing at Headingley. If I'm playing in Yorkshire, I loved travelling over to Leeds and playing against them. The South Stand, it's been rebuilt at the other side now. It was an older stand back then, but the atmosphere's great. I'm quite happy to take the Yorkshire one to Leeds. I like Warrington. I think Warrington's a nice venue. It's nice and compact, but the fans are on top of you a little bit. So I think there's no coincidence that the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup are played at them venues. Ironically, Doncaster's probably a good one as well. I'm sat here in Doncaster now, so
they've got a nice stadium in Doncaster, haven't they?
It has, the Keepmoat. So I think it's been renamed now, but it was the Keepmoat. So I think that's nice and compact. I think Warrington played OKR there this year in the Cup semi-final. So
The other thing I was going to ask as well, because obviously we've picked these teams from Super League based players only. We know that there's players over in Australia that will qualify, likes of Herbie Farnworth from Burnley, so he qualifies for Lancashire. Morgan Smithies, Yorkshire lad. If it became a normal fixture, it became a 3-game series, state of origin style, and it was implemented within 5 to 6 years, however long it is, and it's actually got some meaning to it. Do you think the NRL would be willing to release the players to play in that fixture or not?
No, absolutely not. They won't release them to play in a mid-season international, so they're not going to release them to play in something that's not an international fixture.
No.
I just think that the players are, particularly those players you mentioned there, the Farnworth one, he commands so much money annually over there that to not pay him to come all the way over to England and possibly get injured in a game, which it doesn't mean a great deal to them over there, would be unheard of.
It's just funny. I only asked that question because I think to myself, and I know it wouldn't happen because generally Aussie players that come over here, they're either in bad news or they're at the end of their career. But there obviously is one occasion that it's happened, which Alfie Langer went over to play for Queensland back in the day.
Yeah, he did.
If that was the case now, say, for instance, Nathan Cleary signed for Wigan or Warrington, whoever it is, and he's playing his rugby over here and he's still at the top of his game, if New South Wales was to pick him, they would overrule the Super League club and make him go and play.
Probably.
That's why I asked the question.
Probably.
I just think it's double standards. So we'll get straight into the teams revealed. We'll start off with the Yorkshire team. Let's go with Yorkshire first. We went with Max Jowett at fullback, Tom Johnstone, Ash Handley, Jake Wardle, Lewis Martin as the back line. In the halves, they picked themselves, obviously, Mikey Lewis and Jake Connor. front row of Tom Holroyd, Jez Litton, Robbie Mulhern. Back row of Joe Batchelor, Dean Hadley, and loose forward Minchella. We've put a 6-man bench together. Darryl Clark, Walmsley, Tom Burgess, James Bentley, Jack Broadbent, Will Price, and then we've done an extended squad of George Flanagan, Jack Sinfield, Harry Newman, Tyler Dupree, Cameron Smith, and coach, the Yorkshireman himself, Sam Burgess. We've put it on screen now, and I think it's a very strong squad. Obviously, there'll be players in there that we've missed. There'll be players in there that people disagree with. That's what I like about this, because it was the same with State of Origin, the same in any sporting sense, any representative rugby, football, whatever it may be. Everyone's got an opinion, and everyone else's opinion is valid, and yours isn't.
Yep.
So, what's your thoughts on the Yorkshire team then, Paul?
You're strong, yeah. I think when you listen to the Lancashire one in a couple of minutes, they're both really strong.
Yeah.
You know, could be stronger. Maybe people will have, as you said, Dan. We have different opinions of the way the game is seen and looked, and as a coach or a player, particularly for me as a former player, is you know, how you see the game being played, and who fits that role. The roles in the team for you. So yeah, you know, I like the team. I like the way it's balanced. As you said, some players just pick themselves, and other players there'll be a dividing of opinion on from someone from your club, and I love that. That's what our game's about. It's about, you know, everybody has a little bit of a different opinion. If it was all the same, it'd be very boring.
Yeah, no, I agree. That it is just a bit of fun, and I wanted to bring it up and make a segment about it, because I think it's something that's missed in our game, War of the Roses. If you're from Lancashire or the surrounding areas, if you're from Yorkshire, you know the history of it, and it does mean something, obviously, once you're in that mist of it. But I wanted to also put these two concept teams together to show the viewers that how much talent is from them two areas. So you can see, and there'll be, like I've already said, there'll be players that we haven't even put in the extended squad that we've missed off. So there's even more of a pool of players. So that's what does my head in about when you hear the talent pool isn't good enough, the squad depth isn't good enough. It is. It's just you've got to look for it. You've got to give people a chance. You've got to blood them through, and you don't always have to go to Australia to find a talented player. They're right on your doorstep. That's another reason why I think this would be a great concept. But that being said, we'll get straight into the Lancashire team. So the Lancashire team as follows: Ollie Ashall-Bolt at fullback, three-quarter line of Matty Ashton, Harry Robertson. It's not Herbie Farnworth because we took him out. Joe Burgess, George Williams, Harry Smith, Luke Thompson, Brad O'Neill, Matty Lees, Junior Nsemba, Ben Curry, and Ollie Partington at loose. On the bench, we've got Danny Walker, George Delaney, Havard, Walters, Thewlis, Farrimond, and the head coach is Paul Wellings. It just shows, though, that how much talent is, like I've already said, how much talent is across. And I just think if you as a fan, and that concept is, whether it's at the start of the season, the middle or end, and that talent is on the pitch for Yorkshire and Lancashire, tickets will sell themselves 100%.
Yep. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree, Dan. You're right. There's some fantastic players in that squad as well. It'd be a hell of a game. If you put them two teams playing against each other tomorrow, it'd be a heck of a challenge for them both.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree that there'd be an appetite for it, I think, from fans. The supporters want to see the best players play against the best players. You know, and right there, you've got the best players that are playing in our competition.
And
right now playing against each other.
I also think it's another good idea purely for the fact we don't get many, if any, mid-season friendlies for the England national team.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a good, say we had it smack bang in the middle of the season, it's a good gauge to see where everyone is at. It's a good game for the current England manager to watch, who could basically cherry pick from performances as well as the club performance. But this is kind of another stage for you to showcase your talent, your form, and potentially get yourself into the England team.
Yeah, don't disagree again. Everything you say on it, Dan, is it whets the appetite, if you like. And
yeah, it does.
I personally would love to see it, but whether we will or not is another thing.